right now. Listen up.
3, 2, 1.
It's showtime.
That's great.
This is ridiculous.
99.3 The Truth.
You can't handle the truth. Right now.
Ooh.
That was the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Let's do it. Hit it.
It's time for Max World.
And here we go.
Everybody here. Everybody here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Call Matt 244-0077 or text 809-0993.
It's showtime, everybody. Showtime.
Exclusively on 99.3 The Truth.
307. 5th day of August in the Lord's year 2016. Jesus' third millennium, by the way. Thank you for the gentleman. I think his name was Gordon, who pointed that out. If it wasn't Gordon and I'm calling you the wrong name, tell me the right name because I want to give you credit. All right, Fridays are 15% more fun. Did you notice I just upped that? Did you notice, guys? Are you paying attention?
You said 15. I thought it was always 15.
No, it was always 10, wasn't it?
No, it's always 15.
Oh, it was 15?
It's been 15.
All right, this Friday, 20% more fun.
Well, there you go.
I'm banking on it.
5% more. What a great increase.
I've got a really cool guest coming in today. His name is Murph. And no, it's not that Murph. He doesn't know anything about sports as far as I know. He is a seminary student in his last year or whatever. And he's now here on
internship?
Yeah, an internship. Internment.
He's in an internment.
He's in his internment. So anyway, he's here, and he's going to be here in the 4 o'clock hour, and we have not played Ask the Pastor. I don't really know how long it's been since we played Ask the Pastor, because most of our pastors that we have on now have been on
returning.
Return.
Well, that'll be good then.
Name one pastor that we've never had back here. Can you think of anybody?
That we've never had back?
Yeah, that we didn't have back. Trying to think if there's anybody that rubbed us the wrong way and then we didn't have them back.
No one that's rubbed us the wrong way that we haven't had them back. No. I mean, there may have been folks that have come on once that just haven't come back on. And we apologize for...
Well, we should ask those people back, though. That's kind of what I'm asking.
Yeah, but
Bob, you keep track of all that stuff. Maybe over the weekend or something, you could just look and see if we had a pastor on in the last 2 years that has not been on again. I think everybody's been a duplicate.
Yeah, typically, but I don't know. Sometimes maybe they don't have a good experience. Maybe.
What? Come on, serious?
No, you don't think that's possible?
No, I don't think it's possible that somebody come on. Well, I mean, I suppose it's possible, but they'd have to be a real stinker.
Well, I'll tell you.
I know one. The Catholic.
Did he ever come on?
Yeah, he came on once.
Did he really?
Yeah, Father Adam. Great guy.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
True.
Was I gone?
Yeah, huh?
I was gone then?
He would come back.
He would come back, but his diocese, the bishop, the pope, the whoever.
Yeah.
I listened to Jesus. I don't know why Catholics listen to somebody else, but anyway. I had quite a conversation about Catholicism today.
Yeah, you big fan?
Let me back up. Let me back up and because I want to be fair here.
Jeb's laughing already. I just looked at
I want to be fair here. So let's forget that I said Catholicism.
All right.
Any Christian faith that puts rules with no reason, it's then to me called a religion. It's not called a relationship. Catholicism is certainly probably the most guilty of that. But Catholicism is still centered in Christ. Yes, no, maybe?
Sometimes it's best to keep silent, I find.
Do you?
Yeah, that way that you're not guilty by association or anything like that.
All right, let's talk to Jebediah, because he's a good Catholic boy. I've been a Catholic all your life, right?
Yes.
Have you ever been to another church besides Catholic?
Yeah, I have. I haven't,
more than one. I don't mean a funeral or a wedding.
Yeah, that's what I've been to other churches for.
So you've never been to a service? When are you going to bring...
I don't think so, no.
When are you going to bring Dacia to my church some Sunday morning? Do you think you could try something different just once? Would you have to go into confession and say, Father, forgive me for I have sinned. My last what? Confession was... 2 weeks ago, I went to now I'm going to say a nasty word here, Father. Please don't fall off your pedestal. Lutheran church, an evangelical church.
See, that would be fine, but I'd also have to go to a Catholic church before that.
Why?
Well, because it wouldn't count. It's part of those rules that you talk about.
See why I love this boy? You see, that was perfect. And he didn't even know I was going to ask him that. How come you're not that quick-witted, Roloff? Hey, for those of you that missed the end of the show yesterday, Chris and Bob were over at the garage sale that they're having over at
First Church of the Open Bible.
Yeah, and if you don't know this about me, I collect stuffed animals that are cartoon characters. I have Big Bird, I have Alf, I had that big gray thing that we never could figure out where that came from. Remember on top of the
somebody
bookcase?
mentioned it's from some cartoon show. Yep.
I got Mr. Peanut. I got Annie. What's her name? Little Orphan Annie. I got Alf. I've got Scooby-Doo. And I've got Woody the Woodpecker. And yesterday, and Elmo.
You got Cat in the Hat.
Got Cat in the Hat. Also, Hugh the Ralph. Or Hugh the Camel. And then yesterday, what a find.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of our opening, you hear Donkey from the movie Shrek go, "It's showtime!" And so that's one of the things we say around here about 10 minutes before the show starts is it's showtime. I wish we had an intercom system because hey, you know what we ought to do? Seriously, I got an idea. I got that look, don't I?
Yep.
We need to be able to tap into Merle Hay Mall's announcement system.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And just play that right about 3 o'clock. It's showtime.
That would be, yeah.
Okay.
No. You can call Ed about that.
I'll call Ed. I bet, seriously, though.
Seriously,
Frank
though.
is an electronic genius.
Oh, you're saying hack it?
Hack it. That's right. Hack it.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of,
In fact, what I think I'm going to do is every time you're on the phone, we're going to hack it, and we're going to broadcast your phone calls throughout Merle Hay Mall.
And not like some of our neighbors are ticked off enough at us as it is.
All right, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, speaking of stuffed animals, did you get that picture? I think I sent it to you and Jeb. They have an iPal over there at the First Church of the Open Bible garage sale. Did you see that, Frank? Did he show you the picture of that thing?
Yeah, we saw the picture on his phone.
So they have two kinds. These are brand new. A lot of times you go to a garage sale, you don't see brand new things, but they have these. These are brand new. One of them looks just like Cookie Monster, the fur does. The fur looks just like Cookie Monster, and it's got these big, I don't know if they're like ears or what they are.
Or antennae.
They look like big antennas with speakers at the end of them. These things are real cuddly and soft, and you can plug in your MP3 player, usually a phone or an iPod or something like that, and it plays it right out of these speakers. They had it hooked up to their laptop.
Right.
Pumping their laptop out of this thing. These things are brand new. They retail for $50 is what they were telling us. And right now, it's buy one, get one free if you go down there. So if you're listening to me and you go down there and you say, hey, on the radio, they said it's buy one, get one free, they'll hook you up. They're selling them for $10. So you can go down there, spend $10 to get two of these things.
Whoa.
Yeah, these are great. Get ahead on Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Kind of gifts or something like that. Because you can keep them. I mean, they're already wrapped. They're perfectly brand new. Very cool. Battery operated, fluffy, cushy speakers.
Do you know, are any left? I mean, yeah.
There were some left when we left yesterday.
Right.
Now, I haven't been down there today.
Okay.
But I assume they are left. I got a text from them. They've got all kinds of other stuff. Also, they wanted me to remind everybody that on Saturday, the whole place, everything left on Saturday will be buy one, get something of equal or less value for free. What's interesting about that is there's some really, that sounds like a retail thing, but Bob, you were down there with me. Yeah. There is some stuff that's not just garage sale stuff that's down there. They had a treadmill, that Gold's Gym brand treadmill. This is right out of a workout facility, but it's in great shape. It's brand new.
It's heavy duty.
A heavy duty thing. Could hold me up. I could run on it. And they had one of those electronic mobilized chairs.
Wait a minute, hold on. You went on a treadmill?
No. Nick tried to get me. They tried to get me on the treadmill, but I was like, no, that would be like work.
Well, I think here's what that'd be. That'd be a blooper reel.
Oh, man.
Man.
Nick was like, why don't you get on it and then call into the show? And I was like, nah, that would sound so terrible. But this is a nice treadmill.
Oh, yeah.
So they've got some nice stuff down there that you want to go check out. I had a listener message me and say that he got a bunch of gospel records and CDs. Just all kinds of fun stuff. Anyway, Garage Sale, First Church of the Open Bible in Beaverdale on the corner of Beaver and Hickman. Head on down there. Let the folks know that you heard it on 99.3 FM. Why? I don't know. We just love those guys. Spencer, speaking of pastors that have been on, Pastor Spencer Karoff comes on the radio on this show fairly regularly when he can, but he's on the radio every day, Monday through Friday at 12:45. You can listen to him preach, the gospel.
You know a guy that hasn't been on here for a while?
Who's that?
Brother Almstalden.
He has not. He's clear up in Victory, or not Victory. He's clear up in Jewel. So that a little bit of that's just the drive down here. He didn't come down here much.
Yeah, he is such a good preacher. I mean, I like to listen to him every day. Anyway,
and he's full of energy.
Yeah, but he got it. Yeah, okay, never mind. All right.
Oh! I just got another text from First Church. I'm sorry. On Saturday, it'll be the $5. If you ever gone to these large garage sales, $5 for a whole big stack of clothes. So as much as you can fit in a bag, it's $5. So you can pack in those bags with shirts and clothes and all kinds of stuff. So that'll be good. So Saturday, garage sales are really fun if you're the first person,
right?
And to be the last people, are really great. Because Saturday, you're going to get a great bunch of deals. That's Saturday. Anyway, sorry. First Church of the Open Bible. Hey, Spencer, love you, buddy.
Okay, are you done with your personal stuff?
Personal.
I mean, I'm serious.
I had so much fun at the garage sale.
We have to talk about, first of all, your lack of exercise, which, quite frankly, my friend, is somewhat obvious.
Yes, I'm north of 200.
Yeah, and then you get texts from whoever, and you give them shout-outs, right? All right. We're coming back after the break. I got some news stories I want to share with you, including what James Dobson has said. It's coming up next, live on The Truth.
Wow, that was cutting it short.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Hey everybody, I brought Northern Lights Pizza, and it's got Graziano sausage.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens, rock on! This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
21 minutes after 3:21. Friday afternoon, 5th of August. I'm sorry. Chris said the funniest thing over the break, and I'm just still laughing. But I can't repeat it because it was vulgar.
Not true.
Hey, by the way, sometimes I think that we have too many guys on with us, and unfortunately I'm stuck with all of you. So if there's a girl out there, a female, a lady that would ever like to just come up and sit on the radio with us like Chrissy did, we'd love to have you. I mean, you come up here and you tell us we're icky boys, because we're 5 guys.
I thought she was going to join us.
She's always welcome. Chrissy's a busy girl.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. Phone numbers: 515-244-0077. 515-244-0077. And the Service Legends Truth text line is 515-809-0993. And as always, something new that we've started here just the last couple of weeks. And I want to do it on a consistent basis. And we didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. And that is take prayer requests. Maybe, just maybe, the reason that you found this radio station today, your first time, you hit scan and this is where it ended up, and you recognized my voice or the open, or you like something you heard and you stuck around, and now all of a sudden, this guy on the radio, who's just a guy on the radio, I'm not anything special because I get to be on the radio. Frank, he's special because he's on the radio, but I'm not. You got something laying heavy on your heart? World fall in this morning? Did you get that phone call? That phone call from your child or your dad or your mom or your sibling, or worse yet, your spouse? That news, the news you hope you'd never hear, and you just don't know what to do with it? Maybe you're not a big prayer person. Maybe you know the Lord's Prayer and, the 23rd Psalm, but, praying, that's kind of odd. I don't know how to talk to God. I don't know. Well, I'll help you learn to pray if you want to. But most importantly, let's get that burden off of your heart and into God's hands, because you can't figure that out by yourself. And all the worrying that you think you're going to do this weekend over this problem, this bomb that just hit your life, all that worrying isn't going to do any good. Turning it over to Jesus is the only thing you can do. Have you ever said the following statement? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Here's the answer for that. I want to put a voice in your head. Every time you hear yourself saying, I don't know what to do, I want you to say, give it to Jesus. Isn't that really why he's here? I mean, seriously? We're in a relationship with him, a one-on-one relationship. It's not a religion. If you're still in the middle of a religion, then let's you and I talk. Let's go in and let's read some Romans. Let's read the beginning of Acts. This is not a religion. Religion is rules without reason. Following Jesus is a relationship. And the main part of that relationship, every relationship you have, there's something primary. If you're a mother, then it's with your children. If you're a husband, then it's with your wife. If you're a business relationship, then it's with the business that you do back and forth. But with Jesus, it's about forgiveness and love. And you can't be forgiven until you give it up. And you can't feel God's genuine love until you turn your problems over to him, because the accuser makes those problems just spin and spin and spin in your head, and they can't seem to get away. And you go to sleep thinking about them, and you wake up in the middle of the night thinking about them, and then you get up in the morning and you're still thinking about them. And the accuser is doing push-ups. This is great, man. I got this guy so messed up. And there's Jesus. Hands out. Palms up. Just give it to him. Just give it to him. All right, let's get on to some news. Activist Dr. James Dobson believes that Donald Trump presidency would, and I'm quoting now, air quotes, would unleash Christian activists to fight for their beliefs. Writing on the website WND, Dobson recounted a June meeting in which he met with Trump and other Christian leaders at Trump Tower in New York City. Remember, that's the one where all the preachers stood next to Donald Trump shaking his hand, and on the back wall was a picture of Donald Trump on the Playboy magazine cover? That's a stitch. At the meeting, he told Trump, quote unquote, "Our Supreme Court has struck down Bible readings in schools and even prohibited prayer to an unidentified God. Then they banned the posting of the Ten Commandments on bulletin boards. From there, the limitation on religious liberties has become even more terrible," he wrote. Thank you, James Dobson. Thank you. You just sit right by Donald Trump. Here's an interesting news story. It is true. I had my trusty truth checker check it out. That, of course, would be Bob Montserrat. You know, everything that comes out of Bob's mouth is the truth. Are you even capable of lying? I'm not kidding. You don't ever. You just always tell the truth.
I suppose that's my problem.
Your problem. It's not your problem. It's one of your character assets. So Bob sent me this. German scientists have discovered how to re-engineer immune cells to fight any type of disease. An advance some are hailing as a genetic breakthrough that points the way to developing a universal cancer vaccine. Now, let's go back in time for just a minute. Let's go back when polio was a horrible thing in this country. When would that have been? When did we develop a polio vaccine? 40s?
Maybe been before the 40s because, you know, Franklin Roosevelt had that
polio. So let's say it's 1925, 1930. And polio is just rampant. I mean, children, adults, babies, polio. Everybody down the street, everybody's walking with a limp or with a cane or not able to walk at all. And churches are praying for a vaccine to cure polio. Well, we know by looking back in history over the last 80, 90 years, polio's been cured. Now today, it's cancer, right? Oh, so-and-so got cancer, so-and-so got cancer. Yeah, I got cancer, my mom's got cancer, my sister had cancer. What if they could develop a vaccine that would target specific cancers and then run them out of town? The potential new therapy involves injecting tiny particles of genetic code into the body, which travel to the immune cells and train them. Here, boy. Come here, boy. Speak. Train them target specific cancers. Although scientists have been able to engineer immune cells outside the body to target cancer, this work is its first to come up to make it inside the cells. Frank?
Does anything bring anyone to Christ any quicker than cancer?
That's a good point. Oh, look, Frank. It's Frank the Verse Thomas. It's a scorched earth.
The verse.
Yeah, I have to tell you, that's Romans. He makes good everything that's bad. And you're right. I can't imagine somebody who has a life-threatening disease like cancer doesn't at that time turn to their creator and say, "Is this your deal? Is this something that you did to me?" And of course the answer is no. I made you perfect. I made you in my own image. But unfortunately, the world has fallen, and cancer strikes everyone in one way or another. I've always been told that we all have cancer in us. There is just something that triggers its growth. Obviously, smoking does. Obviously, drinking too much alcohol does. Obviously, obeseness creates cancer. It's the imperfect world with the perfect disease, because it almost always kills. So now, maybe we'll get a vaccine. University Medical Center of Gutenberg University in Germany explained that the technique could allow vaccines to target specific cancers based on the genetic profile of the patient's tumor. Tests in mice showed that a vaccine based on the technique triggered a strong immune response, while trials in 3 skin cancer patients demonstrated that the treatment could be tolerated. Wouldn't that be wonderful? You had cancer, right?
Yes, I did.
When was that?
2001.
And how did you feel when you heard the big C word?
Well, the first thing you think about is it's the end. It's the end.
Yeah.
You're going to die.
The beginning of the end.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the end. And that's and so you start thinking about your family and, getting things in order, and which, you experience it. You don't realize you're going to do that until you experience it. And so you're going through a whole bunch of tests, and you're wondering, are they going to tell me it's throughout the body, and you're waiting for them to say there's nothing we can do. And the thing about melanoma, which is what I had, is that they don't have, you can't really treat it with traditional chemo. And for me, that was good, because back in 2001, I said, I will not do chemo.
Really? Why?
I had made up my mind. I wasn't going to do that. I've seen people that go through it, and they're worse off, and they usually die anyway.
Okay.
And so I wasn't going to do that. And so they told me there was an immune type of chemo. It's not really chemo, but it's immune thing that you can do that helps boost your immune system to fight the cancer. And even now, and Frank knows all about this too, it's your own body that can beat these diseases if you give it the fuel it needs to do it.
So foods, sure. Natural foods,
vitamins, minerals,
sunshine,
vitamin D,
sunshine on melanoma.
Yeah,
we're told, seriously on skin cancer.
Yeah, I mean, don't ask the dermatologist, but you need a certain amount of vitamin D to fight it.
Well, can't you just take vitamin D?
You can.
Okay.
You can.
All right. Well,
and I do.
We're glad. Now, how often do you have to go back and get tested?
Well, after 5 years, they kicked me out and said, "Don't come back."
Okay. So you think you're cured or healed, or
yeah?
Okay,
I sure do. So I would say anybody that has the cancer, you know, it's not a death sentence.
All right, 515-244-0077. Well, that's cute. I like that. If you're watching Webcast One, you're noticing that Jeb is expanding his talents and adding some new, what would you call those? Fades? Okay. Look at that. There we go. All right. I want to remind you of something. The First Church of the Open Bible continues to have their Bible or their garage sale today through tomorrow. There is new merchandise that is coming out always. So, yes, you probably missed something that you wanted or that you would have liked to have. But you may also discover something that wasn't out there yesterday, and that's why you were supposed to go tomorrow, or today, and that's why you were supposed to go tomorrow. If anybody has a Vitamix machine, I know somebody who wants one. So just a little shameless plug for a friend of mine who wants a Vitamix. You know what a Vitamix is?
No. Is that a blender?
Yeah, but very expensive blender, and it can take away pulp, kind of like it's more of a juicer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Vitamix. All right, 515-244-0077. That's the number if you'd like to get in on the radio. You can also text us at the Service Legends Truth text line at 515-809-0993. And as I stated earlier, we're taking prayer requests. If you've got something you want us to pray for you for, we're glad to do that. I know that's kind of unusual on a radio station, but it's not unusual on a radio station that's centered around Jesus. I love to say that name. I love to say that name. Remember the Bible verse where Jesus and the apostles came into a community and there was a man who had been taken over by a legion of demons, and the legion of demons immediately recognizes God himself, and Jesus said, I command you to get out of that man. And the demons left, the evil spirits left, and they jumped into swine, and the swine all jumped into the river. I think that happens today when the name of Jesus is said out loud. I think somebody in the shouting distance doesn't like that name. So we should say it more. Jesus on the Truth.
Northern Lights Pizza's amazing garlic butter makes amazing breadsticks. Now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza. I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Homs.
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed. Fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money-back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed right or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're going to make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money-back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
3:38, 22 minutes before the top of the hour. Top of the hour, Salem Radio Network News, and then a special guest today. His name is Murph, M-U-R-P-H, right? M-U-R-P-H, Murph. M-U-R-P-H. And he is a seminary student that is here on his internment, or his internship. Why?
I don't know.
So we're going to do Ask the Pastor. We haven't done that in a long time. We only do that when someone's here for the first time. And the word's out on the street that you shouldn't go in Max World if you're a pastor, because you might have to step up and answer for your faith. Ooh. Did I just say that? Sting. But that's how I'll be honest, that's how I feel about pastors who won't come on the show. They don't want to step up and, maybe be asked some difficult questions, maybe question some of their theology. It's too embarrassing. I can't do that. My congregation might hear. Man, come on, evangelize. Get out there and answer the questions. I think you probably think differently of that, so that's fine.
Well, I mean, some people just don't always feel comfortable being with the off-the-cuff, random, and knowing that it's on the air. It's one thing if I'm having a conversation with someone and we're just talking and you ask me a difficult question and we sort of talk about it. But it's another thing over the radio to get weird, off-the-wall, unexpected questions and feel like you need to answer. That's an uncomfortable position for a lot of people. And just because you're a pastor doesn't mean you necessarily are gifted at that. Most pastors are organized. They think, they prepare, they've got a plan, they've studied, they know what they're going to say. And so sometimes if they get a weird question from Frank or from you or from Bob or from me, maybe they don't know in fact, I can think of a pastor that we had on once and we asked him difficult questions and it just it wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I can't remember who that was, but he just kind of clam up. He couldn't think off the cuff. Some pastors are good at just thinking off the cuff. Doesn't mean they're comfortable with it. But
I think it's important that if they don't know an answer, they just say, I don't really know that. I'll have to look it up.
That's if more people could be comfortable saying that. And I don't know what it is. I'm not that way. I mean, if you ask me a question, I'm going to fake it, right? I'm going to fake it till I make it.
Right.
Do you know the pastor who answered the least amount of pastors' questions in 1 hour?
That was Ben, wasn't it?
Yep. 3.
Yeah, Ben Mason. And that's because we had such an amazing conversation.
Oh, because he just talks too much.
No.
His beard. Once he's done talking, his beard starts talking.
No. I'm just telling you, Ben's one of the best. Ben's one
Ben
of my
has the biggest beard of anybody I personally know.
Okay, show's going to heck in a handbasket now.
I've got beard envy. Got beard envy from Ben Mason.
I looking at your beard, I understand that.
I don't think I'm allowed to have a beard like that. I'm supposed to be a professional radio person.
All right, I want to share a post that I put on Facebook today. And this was written, partially written by Dave Hamilton, who is from Wild at Heart. But I thought it was extra. Important given what is going on here with my medical stuff. If you haven't heard, I had a calcium scoring test. Just did it off the cuff. Had no symptoms or anything. Just had this random thing, this test. And your calcium, which is another word for plaque, and I'm not talking about teeth, I'm talking about arteries. If you're 0 to 200, you're okay. If you're 200 to 300, you're probably on medication and a diet. And if it's 300 to 400, it's probably a stent. And if it's 400 to 500, it's probably bypass, and I'm above 500. My vitals are all down except for my blood pressure. And so kind of like you, Bob, you said earlier with your cancer, you're just waiting for the test to get done, and you're waiting to hear that, this is it, or you're going to be okay or whatever. I've got my last test on Monday, and then I don't know when I hear the results, but I think it's like a week away from that I get my results. So here's a post I put on Facebook, and I want to share it with you. The restoration of our hearts is essential to the life we want, essential to the life we were created for. Jesus works in us. In our daily prayers, our time with him, he works through our time worshiping him. Solitude and silence are so badly needed. Time with Jesus without a clock, time to study, and time to worship. Time for him to speak and work deeply within your heart. That's my prayer for you. Blessings. And when I'm really feeling giddy, I always sign it macaroni. So if you would like a copy of that, you can go to Facebook, share it with people. If you don't have Facebook, I don't know, call me and I'll text it to you, or I'll fax it to you, or something like that. But I just think that's really important to remember, that the restoration of our hearts is essential to the life we want, essential to the life we were created for. Now, I had somebody call me up and say, well, the essential to the life we want and essential to the life we were created for, that's an oxymoron. They're completely different. No, not for me. Because the life I want is the life he created me for. I don't want anything different in my life that he didn't create me for. I have no desire to be running track. I have no desire to keep going back to exercise because I dislike exercise so much. But I have no desire to go to a different church and become a member. I have no desire to change my religion, my faith, my beliefs. I don't have any desire to be a Muslim or a Buddhist or anything else. The restoration of your heart is essential to the life you want. And hopefully, it's the life that you were created to have.
You mean you don't want to go back to making as much money as you possibly can in life?
No.
The car you drive and the house you live in, you don't want to go back to none of that?
No, I don't. I mean,
he's moved on so that I can do that now.
Yeah.
He's made room so that I can move into that life.
Yeah, Chris, I'm helping Chris get
That's
into
where
that
I'm going.
life.
He moved, he stepped aside.
Let a younger man.
Yeah, he's going to let the young man go into that.
Young man go now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I always said when Jesus mugged me, he took the things that I thought were the most important to me, and that was my desire to be filthy rich, to have things that people could see, that they would say, wow, he's really successful. To be in relationships that would benefit me, forget if I served anybody or helped anybody. And I just wanted to be a big deal. And then Jesus comes along and says, Mac, you're already a big deal to me. Would you stop trying to be a big deal for you, please?
You mentioned earlier, you asked if there was any pastor that had been on once and hadn't been on again. And I flipped open my Bible because of what you were talking about, reminded me of Psalm 37.
Ooh.
We had Pastor Tom Cackler on. Was it last Friday or whatever it was?
Yeah, Friday.
You were out. You had to step out. Thomas Cackler of Harvest Church in Cumming, Iowa. But you're talking about Psalm 37, verse 4, Mac. Says, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. You have started to do that. You've started to delight yourself in the Lord, and therefore the desires of your heart now are being conformed into what God would want them to be, and you're satisfied in that place. You know, oftentimes as Christians, we don't do that. Even you've been a Christian for a little while. I've been
5 years. 5 years Monday.
I've been a Christian for a long time, and I can tell you, as you do it for a long time, you go back. You have a tendency. I have a tendency to wane back into the world, and as we get tired and we get beaten down by the world, we give into the world system and we give into the way that the world thinks. And the great reminder of Scripture and why Scripture is so incredibly important in every one of our lives, no matter if you've been a Christian for 5 minutes or for 50 years, God's Word is so important, is because it reminds us to do the basic things that we do to give our heart peace, to give our heart rest, to give us joy, because I am most unsatisfied when I know that I'm outside of God's will. And the only thing that's going to change that is for me to delight in the Lord so that he can renew my heart and give me his desires.
And that's Psalm what?
Psalm 37, verse 4.
So if Jesus was a board game, the guy with the most toys at the end doesn't win.
Jesus isn't a board game, praise God.
But if it was, the guy with the most stuff doesn't win at the end.
You can think about that. We'll take a break. We'll come back and ask that question. If Jesus was a board game, 347. That's one of those things that you and I talked about the other day that he just does, right?
Yeah.
Just out of the blue.
Right. I mean, we can talk about that, but
next hour it's Ask the Pastor with Murph here live on The Truth.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
Northern Lights Pizza, your home of the tasty crust. Our garlic butter sauce now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
3:50, 10 minutes before the top of the hour. Top of the hour, Salem Radio Network News, and then seminary intern Murph. He's coming in. We're going to talk a little bit about seminary and talk a little bit about Ask the Pastor questions, which we haven't done in a very long time. So I appreciate that. Why do you have Hugh the camel sitting in front of you, Chris? You just decided to put him there? You're a bubble off plum today, aren't you?
Is that okay?
Are talking with your mouth full now? Okay. Speaking of food, yeah, there. For those of you on Webcast One, there's There's Hugh the camel. Turn him towards the camera so we can. There you go. And he sits on a can. He's actually a puppet, and that's why he's sitting on a can. But that was our first stuffed animal, right? Or it was Cat in the Hat first?
I think Cat in the Hat was first.
Cat in the Hat was first.
Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, all right.
He came from a clever idea for the show that we never followed through on.
What?
He lives in the world of failed ideas.
Hugh?
Yeah.
What was the idea we had that
I
we
don't
didn't
remember, see?
No, I don't think so. I think Hugh is just fine where he is. He
sometimes gets on chat. That's where he came from.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. He's on chat. Okay. And why are you so shocked that I spent $22 on a healthy lunch today?
I'm not.
You are too. You just said to Bob, I can't believe he spent $20. I have to eat healthy now. So I had to have real greens. I had to have walnuts. I had mangoes. I had apples. And I had a piece of salmon.
You hear that, Bob?
Making me hungry.
Yeah, it was really good.
Making Bob hungry.
And the reason it was $22 is because I tipped 20% or more.
Always. Oh, that's the key.
See, I have my shirt on, which has the radio station logo. And I'm telling you, from being a restaurant guy, if you don't tip well and they know where you're from, your business or wherever you're from is now squat.
So they'll slam your business.
Well, they'll just remember that those guys don't tip well. And I'm just telling you, when you go to a good restaurant and you tip well, the next time you come back, they remember you. Okay? And I'm not talking extravagantly, but never less than 15%. Because if you give less than 15%, you're cheap. And you don't appreciate the service you got today. Now, I know there are people who think that they shouldn't have to tip waitresses or waiters, and I think aren't there some restaurants that have actually tried that they don't allow tipping, and they just hike the cost of the food a little bit?
Yeah, I've read that.
And then they're paid a salary or whatever they are. I don't know. I think tipping's great because a good server can make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, $1,000 a week, if they work real hard and they take care of the customers.
Yeah, I've noticed when I've gone to a restaurant or two, not fast food, but the ones.
No, I don't tip at McDonald's.
Do you tip at Chick-fil-A?
But they give you, no, I don't. They give you 15, 18. They calculate it for you on your bill. And I thought to myself, well, come on. You should be able to do that in your head. Right, Chris? You should, right?
I do it every day, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Hey, what do you think about pooled tips? Do you think that's better?
No, I hate pooled tips.
You don't think
never
that's
did
good?
them in my restaurants.
Yeah.
No, because the lazy one sits there and makes a higher wage.
Globs off of the ones that get good tips.
Yeah, I don't. Now, I do believe in tip outs. You know what that means?
Yeah, you tip like bus
the
boys,
bartender,
things like
or the
that.
bus boys, or
Mhm.
things like that. I think everybody works hard to get that food ordered, drinks delivered, appetizers, salads, main course, dessert. Tons of people are working there, and then they leave, and the table needs to be bussed for somebody new. So, yeah, I believe in tip outs, but I do not believe in shared tips.
Do you tip the maitre d'?
Well, that's really a TV thing.
Oh.
I mean, have I ever tipped a maitre d'? I think I have someplace. I think I probably have. But it's because I want a certain table. I want a certain environment. I want a certain atmosphere. I want a certain experience. Remember that when you go to a restaurant, it's about the quality of food. It's about the cleanliness of the bathrooms. And it's about the experience you have. And some restaurants don't give you an experience. You just go in, you order food, you eat it, you go home. And for most people, that's enough. But a lot of restaurants create what I call an experience. We always created an experience in our restaurants, and we worked real hard that when they left, yes, they remembered the delicious food, but they also remembered how we made you feel inside. And how you make someone feel when they eat is really important, because eating food is tied to every other part of your body, your brain, your stomach, your heart, everything.
Is service better than the food?
It better not be. It better not be.
No, I'm saying in a restaurant, should service be better than the food, or should they be equal?
Well, the food's got to always be the best. Because, we had fun there, and how was the service? It was okay. How was the food? Oh, I don't know. We can have that food probably anywhere. Guess what? They're gone. They're done. No more. They're not coming back to your restaurant. People come for the experience. Or if you're not an experienced restaurant, and I didn't say experienced, I just said if you're not a quote-unquote experience type restaurant, then don't try to be. Don't try to be. Okay, I don't know why I went on that rage, but I just let you know. All right, one more news item I want to get to before we get to the top of the hour. A major evangelical free church in Sweden is preparing to use drones to drop thousands of Bibles into areas of Iraq that is controlled by Islamic State. The Levits Ord, Word of Life, Church in Sweden has said it will use drones flying at high altitudes to release thousands of small electronic Bibles into Iraq. The Bibles are the size of a pillbox and have a display. They require no electricity but work on their own. The church's mission director, Christine, said, "Our ambition is to pass on the hope and love of the Christian gospel to a population living in a closed area where they are being denied human rights." The church said that another organization in the area would be carrying out the operation, but did not name the other group. Quote, "We start our project in a few weeks and hope to drop thousands of Bibles into the infidels."
You just found something there that will tick off Code Pink more than Obama dropping drone strikes on terrorists.
And that's dropping Bibles on atheists?
That's dropping Bibles.
Well, I haven't seen these little things, but apparently, I was thinking at first when I read the story it was a thumb drive, but apparently it's not. It's something that functions on its own, about the size of a pillbox. Of course, depending on how many pills you take, you could have a real big pillbox. But it's self-charged, or it doesn't charge. It just and then they have the Bible right there. That's cool. Man, that's gutsy. That's evangelical. All right, so we have a new pastor, or a gentleman who's becoming a new pastor, coming in next hour, I hope. His name is Murph, and he is an intern at a local church, and he's going to come in, and we're going to do Ask the Pastor and find out a little bit more about Murph, which is one of my favorite things to do with pastors. All right, Jebediah is here. Chris Roloff is here. Frank the Verse Thomas is here. Bob Monster at the Cat in the Hat watching the chat and the Service Legends Truth text line. I'm here, but most importantly, you're here. Maybe there's something you're supposed to hear today. Maybe Murph has a message that he doesn't even know he's carrying for you. But God knows. And God gave it to Murph. And now he's going to give it to you. So I hope you take the time to listen next hour. Until then, it's Friday. You know what that means. That big resentment that you refuse to get rid of, dump it today. Give it to Jesus and forgive. Because as you forgive, you shall be forgiven.